How has he gone coming into your stable? He obviously spent good time in your stable in the lead up to the Derby, so...
Yeah, he did. He's so big, he's still so untapped, I feel. And you look at his preparation and analyse it, and he was very good in the early part of his career over shorter trips. So, you know, you enter in races like Caulfield Cups and stuff like that, but he could well be a very good miler, which, you know, his figures and times, you know, at a mile in his first prep are very good.
It's funny you say it. I reckon, I know he won the Derby over 24, but for me, one of his most impressive wins was the day it was a 75 against older horses where he gave them weight and he sat on that real hot tempo and kicked away over 16.
Yeah, exactly. Against the older horses is key. It's hard for a 3-year-old to beat older horses, even if, you know, they go on to be good horses. As a 3-year-old, it's very hard to do that, and only good horses do it. So, you know, he's furnished since then. He's got stronger, he's got bigger, and, you know, whenever that stops is usually where they level out, but he's still got a lot of furnishing to go. So yeah, his first couple of runs are going to be very interesting as to what we do for the rest of the campaign.
Yeah, and what the ideal in your head right now is something like an Eagle could be the grand final for him?
Well, it could be. You know, you only get one crack at an Eagle, being a 4-year-old only race. You know, I think we'll kick him off in a Tramway or a Theo Marks over 1400 or 1300, and we'll know. You know, I'd think he should be pretty competitive in either of those races. It could then lead into a race like the Epsom. You know, he'd be a perfect Epsom horse, down on the minimum, big track of Randwick. Yeah, there's a lot to like about that. And then that'd sort of be a fork in the road in whether you stay at the mile and go for a race like the Eagle. The Eagle's 1500, and you see horses that have won it, like the last year's winner Lazat, who then goes and wins, you know, a Group 1 over 1200. You need that sort of speed. So, yeah, he's got options, but yeah, we can either stretch out after a race like the Epsom, or we can go for a race like the Eagle.
He seems like he's settled in well at your facilities. Spent a bit of time at the beach, I think, and then now Bong Bong.
Yeah, he did. Got a really good base on him at the beach. He's down at Bong Bong now. He's going to trial later in the week, and he'll have another trial, and then he should be ready to kick off in either one of those races.
What are you really seeing about him? I know you said he's still got some furnishing to come, but from when you first got him at the end of his last preparation, his feet were a bit worn out, things like that. What's the main sort of differences and changes physically you've seen him?
Yeah, like he you know, he come in super order. I think they did a great job with him to prolong his prep in a first racing prep. I thought they'd done a super job, and you know, his feet are completely fine with a brake. It's just, you know, he was shod quite a few times, and that happens with any horse. So yeah, you know, he's furnished. He hasn't, because he's quite big. You know, he's just not that type of horse that's going to get. He's not going to look like a sprinter at any stage. He's just, you know, he got a nice covering on him, and he's not the type of horse that requires a lot of hard galloping. You know, he's a natural athletic type. So it's just, you know, condition him up again, putting him through the paces, and yeah, really looking forward to his prep ahead, and also the next sort of 2 or 3 preps, because I think he's, like I said before, he's just very untapped.
The untapped potential is quite exciting. Is there any kind of horse that you've seen previously or trained that you think, yeah, he's got some sort of similar characteristics to that?
He seems, Moody had a horse called Incentivise that sort of come from a little bit from obscurity. I suppose it's slightly different because this horse was, a very good 3-year-old. Yeah, it's going to be very interesting in what he does, because there's plenty of horses that have done what he's done, but probably not in one preparation. And I think that's the pretty exciting part about him.
Where do you want to see him, like at the trials, sort of later this week, and then his following trial? What are the keys you're going to be kind of looking for?
Well, the first one, we never put a lot of pressure on. It's just like a working gallop. You just want to see him improve up to the line, see that nice bit of stretch, warm up the cockles a bit, and then the next one we get a little bit more serious, and then you're into your first race. Yeah, a prep is like, you want everything smooth, so there's no sort of hills or hollers. You just want to keep it nice and smooth and just progress all the way through until you get to your peak or your target. And so far so good. He's had a smooth campaign.
We're excited to see him kick off in the Spring Carnival and be under your training, so we look forward to it. Thank you very much.
No, I really look forward as well. I know the team are very excited, and I think wherever he is, he's always a bit of a favourite given his size and ability. So excited to be training him, and looking forward to it.